Hello, everyone. In today's podcast, I'm going to be talking the full detailed story of how me and Widow met and going on off of his story from my point of view and of it and more. So, like he said, I was the new kid, started my very first day, and it was during 7th grade. And as the new kid, in most every class I had to get up in front of the entire class and say my name and introduce myself. I I had a lot of social anxiety and stuff, so and I'm an introvert and more, so it was really uncomfortable for me to go up and say it, and kind of embarrassing. And But the last two classes I had, I remember that me and Widow both had, and I believe the other one was language, and then we both had math class with the same teacher, which I'm not going to say her name or anything out of privacy and stuff wise. And eventually, we did small talk. It was like very short conversations that probably didn't last long, like hi, hey, that stuff. And then there'd be some days where we didn't talk, and then slowly, and so we progressed to talking a little bit more and stuff. And we only really talked during that class, and then as we continued to talk a little bit more and more, then we started hanging out more throughout the school day and stuff, instead of just those classes. And also, going off to what he said, one dance that we went to, like, I was never really a huge going to dances person. I was told to go to that one because my make friends or something. I really didn't really care to go that day, and I didn't go anything really fancy. As far as I remember, I just went in usual, like, jeans and maybe a dress-up shirt with maybe a tie, but that was about it. And man, I was because I didn't really I didn't know how to dance, so I was laying up against the wall, and then he came over and we had small talk. I understand why it might have been a little bit awkward for him, because me at the time, I didn't really know what to really talk about, because like I said, I was just getting slowly more and more getting to know him, and I didn't really know what he was interested in, so I didn't really know what to talk about in that regard. And also didn't want to say anything weird or make, but either way, then he went and did his thing. And then another dance that was the time when him, me, and a few other guys at the school that we were friends with all went and they all wanted to do the chugging competition. I usually never do competitions like these, but I figured, couldn't hurt just to try it once. So I did, and I remember they told me, like, I choked about 15 or 17 or so of them before I eventually had to go to the bathroom and puke my guts out every 10 minutes or so. I could barely go anywhere without feeling the urge to puke. But he definitely, stood outside and just was there in case, just to make sure I was okay, and, whatever else he was doing. And I can't believe I'm telling this story. But back in 8th grade through, I got called to even high school and a little bit after high school, but I got the nickname called Iron Balls, which the reason how I got that name was because even though I was one of the quietest guys at school, besides from, you know, Widow, because I know that Widow, him and I talk, so, was that I did have a crush on this popular girl at school, and I wanted to ask her out, but I didn't want to ask her out like the usual, like, hey, would you go out with me kind of thing, or whatever people say nowadays. So I wanted to do something special to possibly help increase my chance. So I went and I got a rose, and I, was looking for her that day with a rose, and a whole bunch of people literally shoved me to her class, and I asked, and she said she wasn't ready, which I respect, and I haven't really asked since. But besides from that wise, I really wasn't into relationships, nor did I really like anyone really after that. I just stuck to myself really, and I mean as in like, being single and stuff wise. And after that, high school wise, it was okay. I mean, I had a few good moments and stuff, and I would say out of like, if you were asking me like what kind of group I was in, I know he said this, but I also felt this way. It was definitely like the outcast, or like the outsider, or whatever you want to call it. If they're both the same thing, then there you go. But yeah, I was mostly alone, or I hanged out with a few friends. Now I know that he apologized for this very moment where he said, that I was going through a really dark moment of my life where I was really down, along with like my mental stuff, and dealing with like the loss of quite a several people who were important, and pets mostly, and but I'm not going to get too full into that story and stuff, and I know he's probably going to be watching this, but just know, like, I'm not bringing it up and stuff because I am, like I've said, I'm over it. I'm not going to be a petty person, hold that as a grudge or anything. Like, and if he's watching this right now, just know, Holly, it's in the past. It's yesterday's news, or it's like my yesterday shit that I don't even remember anymore because I don't really care about it. And you know what? We moved along. He was man enough, to say sorry and stuff. So that's all good. And that's all I'm gonna say about it and talk about it, because I'm just, it's past and stuff. And I do now have a job. I do work at Adopt a Dog, and I'm really enjoying it. I really am. Like, I love what I do, and it's a lot of peaceful and I don't really see what else I'd be doing because I'm not really a people person. People, a lot of, like he said, I really don't really, I'm the type of person where, like, okay, if I'm friends with you, that's something special that you should be glad, because I don't really friend people like that. Number two wise, I'm the type of person where I even had Crimson tell me this, even though he had this feeling to me when he first met me, which is, I'm really a guy where I really don't care what others say or think of me, because at the end of the day, I know who I am, and just because someone wants to throw something from my past or whatever doesn't mean that's what makes me the person I am today. And two, I just really don't care what snowflakes say. But, and also, I'm going to say whatever I'm going to say and speak my mind, regardless if anyone likes it or not. And, you know, if you're still riding with me and, you know, whatever, then glad to have you around. If, you know, if y'all left, don't, hope the door hits you on the ass on the way out. But, now, I know a lot of people have also been asking me, like, you know, with me being, like, visual and stuff, how I could still manage to do, like, YouTube, which is a hobby, and D&D and stuff, along with, like, maintaining a job. Well, with my job-wise, I only work the weekends, so I can usually get a good majority of the rest of the stuff done weekdays. Plus, I kind of wanting to take weekends as like off from like, you know, doing YouTube and stuff. But, you know, it's whatever I'm feeling that day. If I feel like making a video, I'll make a video. Being a DM wise is a lot of work. Like, I have to do a lot of prep work. What I mean by that is just like, since my players make different choices, you know, depending about who they are and stuff, I also have to kind of be flexible and kind of make changes in case they didn't go with a certain choice that I was hoping that they're going to make, and outcomes, and then having to figure out what monsters will be the appropriate level that will be not too easy, not too deadly, but kind of like challenging for us. And, you know, setting up a time and date for all of that and more. I mean, I mostly am uploading videos and grinding. I know that's what a lot of my friends have said, like, I've been grinding on videos, and it's true. I need people to understand, for us content creators, even if I don't, listen, I don't get paid to do YouTube. I don't get paid to do streams or any of that stuff. So honestly, I'm doing this for free. But even though, besides from that wise, like, a lot of viewers, I don't care like what content creator you watch or who's your favorite. And at the end of the day, us content creators are all human, so there are times where we do get burnt out, and sometimes we just need some time, whatever, to take some time on our mental health and stuff, you know, because, like I tell people, if I'm not at 100% where I feel good to record a video, or I don't really feel good enough to, like, really want to put in the extra effort to make this video as good as possible, then I'm not going to do the video. You know, I was going to do this podcast a lot sooner, but I've been pushing it because I've been having a lot of stuff on my mind recently about some stuff, and then battling with my own stuff, and then trying to get the new content stuff rolling to keep you all enjoying and stuff. But yeah, and, you know, and continuing on with, like, me and Widow and stuff, yeah, him and I have done a lot of stuff together with her. We're going, you know, we went to festivals, circus, you know, went to, like, certain events, hanged out, went hiking or whatever. I mean, I know you said, you know, like, I'm like a big brother to him and stuff, and you know what, he's like a little brother to me. And like you said, like, every good I don't, even in like a normal friendship, like, your friendship isn't gonna always be like sunshines and rainbows. Like, there are times you guys are gonna argue, you guys are going to not agree on literally every single little thing. But you know what? That's just how friendships are. I mean, at the end of the day, even if I was like pissed at him for something, I would still be there for him. You know, and I'm pretty sure, you know, he probably would do the same. And also, yeah, and plus him and don't really stay mad, and and don't really hold grudges. So, plus we usually have fun all the time, and I definitely say that more and more of our ideas and influences towards each other are just becoming more and more cursed. And plus, him and I have also introduced each other to some games. Like, the very first game he introduced me to was The Forest. I didn't know nothing about The Forest. I've never seen anything about The Forest or anything. I didn't even know I was going to like it or anything until him and I played it, and I got learning the controls and stuff, and I found out that I really honestly enjoy it. It's a fun game, and I love the crafting mechanics, and really fun, challenging, and you know, once you kind of know what you're looking for, it's a fun game to play. And I introduced him to Dead by Daylight, which, you know, I'm kind of agreeing to him at this. I'm agreeing with him in his podcast about it, but I mean, I will still play it. It's just that right now I am just, I know, record this, take whatever, but honestly, I'm burnt out on Dead by Daylight. Whether it's from players to teammates to whatever at this point. Like, the only time I really am enjoying Dead by Daylight is like when me, him, Crimson, and Randy are playing it, because we all can have fun. No one, you know, there's no DCing, and there's just good fun times, and definitely hope there's some more times where us, the boys, are going to do more sessions together and more. And you know, he also introduced me to a few others, and I suggested to him 7 Days to Die. He got very addicted to that game. He literally stayed up the entire night and then played that game for about a week straight, telling me that he was addicted to it. And yeah, we kind of introduced each other to games. And then for like future games wise, I can only really say that one game that I know him and I are really looking forward to is the Sons of the Forest, and most likely going to get Modern Warfare 2, since I enjoyed the one, and the first one is what really brought me back to COD, with the executions. It brought more life into the game, and but like I said, I've been kind of distant from online matches because of the fact that they're always very glitchy and teleporting me everywhere, and I'm getting, you know, shot at even though that there's nobody near me, or you know, when no one's anywhere remotely close. Same thing with Warfare, with it being so glitchy, it won't even like let me pick up weapons, and mechanics don't work that properly. Stuff, and kind of the same thing too, even in Cold War. But I hope that they're fixing this, and well, yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it. Sorry for ranting too long, and didn't mean to take up all this much of your guys' time. But thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed today's podcast, and see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.